The FNAF movie just got a ton of news this past weekend, with the movie reportedly being completely finished. An official scene for the film ended up leaking, some ways you can actually watch the movie multiple days early, and so much more. So basically, the FNAF movie, as we know, is going to be all about character Mike Schmidt, played by Josh Hutcherson, exploring the pizzeria for, as the title suggests, 5 nights. And most recently, we actually got ourselves some brand new behind-the-scenes photos of what happened during filming this past February, detailing some bad cupcake merch from the production studio, a photo of the actual clapperboard, which we saw from the first day of filming for the movie, funnily enough, another cool detail, some more standard photos of the pizzeria turned on, which has and always will look absolutely insane, along with a photo of them seemingly taking shots or doing work with the sign, this time actually in the rain, which, while most likely meaningless, could mean there could be some rainy shots of the pizzeria, which would fit the vibe so much better, and I would love to see that, at least in my opinion, but I don't think they will. But on the topic of behind the scenes stuff, another thing we've been wondering for a while with the film and all of the BTS photos we've gotten is, where are the actual animatronics for the film? As if you didn't know, there's currently 3 known types of animatronics in the movie, those of which being suits that an actor will work and operate for most of the movie, CGI, which will just be purely effects based being put in while editing, and also third, there's supposed to be real working versions of the animatronics as standalone real robots, exactly like what you see in a Chuck E. Cheese or a real Freddy Fazbear. But as far as I know, the trailer mostly just shows us the suits along with all of the BTS as well, so where are they? Well, just a couple of days ago, we were actually given a leaked screenshot showing off a photo of what the actual animatronics are going to look like in their full form, and this just looks overwhelmingly good. The attention to detail is there, it has the clouds in the background like what's seen in the original game, but when comparing it to the actual suit models, while it's not a difference that I think overall will be massive, when putting them side by side, you can 100% tell that the animatronics just look so much better and more realistic, as the suits, especially around the arm area, sort of sink into each other to try and hide the arms and legs of the suit actor, while with the actual animatronics, you could see their endoskeletons with way more detail, looking a lot more like what you would expect if you actually went into the pizzeria itself. Plus, they are holding all of their accessories here, which is also nice. But I'm very curious to see what scenes they are going to use the animatronics for and what ones they will use the suits, because in my opinion, the animatronic versions just look a lot better. The next cool thing I wanted to discuss is that if you didn't see my latest FNAF news video, I had mentioned that the Security Breach creators Steelwool Studios had hinted that at the upcoming PAX West event this September, they were going to tease their newest upcoming game, Help Wanted 2. However, recently they posted another new photo actually showing off their booth for the event. But what makes this photo interesting is that people were quick to point out that if you look in the left corner, you can very clearly point out the Five Nights at Freddy's movie version of the logo, which means that along with Help Wanted 2, there's also going to be a whole section at this PAX event dedicated to showing off the movie to some capacity. Now, what exactly they could show off at this event, to be honest, is somewhat unknown, but I have a few different ideas. For starters, it could just be for promotional reasons and could just maybe show off the old trailers and sell some sort of merch, which would be cool. However, on the more optimistic end, it could be possible that this PAX event could instead show off something new about the movie. Perhaps there could be a new trailer or experience related to the event that could give us more insight into what is happening or something in that vein, but I guess we'll end up seeing. The next piece, and debatably the biggest piece of news we got of all time, is that we finally got to see what the actual final film is going to look like, as recently somebody unknown has actually revealed to us an official final cut version of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie in a 1-minute testing showing the characters Abby and Max having a conversation. Now, I can't show the whole clip because it's really long, but basically it's a scene showing the character Abby drawing pictures while the babysitter Max tries to get her to eat dinner, and after Abby refuses, Max attempts to convince her by telling her a story about how when little girls don't eat their dinner, they never grow and stay in their small child bodies, quoting, "You'll stay the same forever. Your body stays the same, you stay the same age, except everything else keeps getting older," which people have actually pointed out sounds almost like a metaphor for what happened at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, as we know that all of the animatronics at their core are simply just the spirits of children shoved inside of the Freddy suits, of course haunting the inanimate objects, and it honestly seems like Max telling Abby that not eating her dinner will keep her small while everything else around her gets older could be referencing how the children, when shoved into the Freddy suits, stayed as haunted children children forever while everything ages around them, including their own bodies, as we see in FNAF 1, where rotting smells are reported coming from the animatronics, interestingly enough. Now, the thing about this scene that you might have already noticed is that both Abby and Max look absolutely nothing like their actresses Piper Rubio and Kat Connor Sterling. And the reason for this is actually because this is what is called a demo reel. Or in other words, as we could see in some behind the scenes shots, the creators for the film were simply just testing these shots for the movie to sort of get a vision or idea for what the film will end up looking like in the final product. The sets are probably all final, the dialogue for the most part is probably also final and scripted out already, but the actresses will of course end up being replaced by the real actresses rather than the mock ones here. However, at least in terms of basic quality, this is probably what we can expect the movie to end up looking like in terms of the lighting and atmosphere. I mean, admittedly, the clip is extremely basic, only showing 2 camera shots in a couple minutes, so maybe there are more shots in the final scene, but let me know what you think this clip of dialogue could mean in the comments below, and subscribe while you're down there. Speaking of final versions of the film though, there have also been a ton of rumors that the movie has actually already been completed and has started screening the final movie to some people a couple months early, as people on social media have been alleging that the movie has already been shown to a number of people, with supposed leaked reviews being posted online, supposedly giving the entire plot of the film, which are extremely suspicious, so I'm not even going to talk about them. And while multiple people have either confirmed these rumors are true or false, chances are either sooner or later the movie is going to be shown to reviewers and other companies, probably within the next couple weeks, as the movie is now only 60-ish days away from releasing. And so with that being said, around this time is also when we can expect the plot and story for the movie to actually end up also being leaked, along with some final footage that could get passed around. It's a practice that is pretty much unavoidable and happens with every single movie, so I definitely recommend staying off websites like Twitter for the most part, at least until the film releases, since I can almost promise you the plot of the film will leak at any moment now. However, in terms of the film's final product, it's also possible some regular people, possibly including yourself, could be seeing the movie a few days early, since as we know, the movie releases on October 27th. However, that's actually only for the United States and most other countries, but a ton of other countries are actually getting the film a day early on the 26th of October listed here. And if you're in the Philippines or Indonesia, the movie is actually releasing on October 25th, a whole 2 days before it releases to the rest of the world, which means for one, that if you live in those countries, you'll actually be seeing the movie early, and two, I don't know how the eligibility is going to work, but if the movie ends up dropping on Peacock in those countries like how it is in America, you might also be able to use a VPN or something to stream it early as well, but I'm not sure on the validity of that, so I wouldn't quote me. However, around this time is when we can expect the entire movie to basically get completely leaked, as it is seemingly completely finished, but the movie is so close to coming out, so subscribe to get any more news when it comes, and peace out, guys.